In this WrestleTalk news, Vince McMahon's in-ring return, everything on the table for WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar goes off script, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos. But don't just take my word for it. Here's someone far cooler.
What's up, everybody? This is Swerve, the realist. You are watching WrestleTalk. Subscribe to WrestleTalk because Swerve listens to WrestleTalk every day. All of the latest independent wrestling news all around the world, even the mainstream. So check it out, because Swerve the realist says so.
Support WrestleTalk! Vince McMahon is rumoured to be considering an in-ring return for WrestleMania. Because why not? He's fired his own son already, Stone Cold's apparently coming back, Cody is jumping ship from AEW, calm down wrestling, it's only February. The rumour was tweeted out by Brad Shepard, so this story has a severe health warning containing 12 grams of pinches of salt, twice the recommended daily amount for your average adult, and enough to kill a snail. That poor snail, you monster, Brad Shepard. He tweeted, "A source in WWE told me today that 76-year-old CEO Vince McMahon is considering getting back in the ring for WrestleMania 38. It is absolutely not official, just something currently on the table. Ultimately, it will be up to Vince himself." The last time Vince got physical on screen was the ill-advised Kevin Owens headbutt angle in 2018, busting McMahon open to build a Hell in a Cell match against Shane. Before then, Vince's last actual in-ring match was a decade ago in 2012 against CM Punk on an episode of Raw. But apparently behind the scenes, he's literally throwing himself off balconies all the time, as both The Gronk and Becky Lynch told stories in 2020 about Vince demonstrating their bumps for them, leaping off the stage onto a crash mat. He is the genuine CEO of a publicly traded company. Do you think Vince will wrestle an actual match at Mania? Let me know in the comments. Shepard makes sure to hedge his report though, pointing out that this is currently only a pitch that's being considered, not an actual plan. And according to Ringside News, that could be because literally everything is on the table. As the marketing keeps telling us, WWE wants to make WrestleMania 38 the most stupendous event they can. Whatever stupendous actually means. But even with a planned in-ring return for Stone Cold Steve Austin, who's apparently set to face Kevin Owens in his home state of Texas for his first match in almost 2 decades, McMahon doesn't think this is enough. Meltzer has already reported there is another Stone Cold level return being discussed, which I previously thought could only be Rock the Dwayne Johnson to set up his Mania 39 match with Roman Reigns. But now I guess could be Vince himself and Cody Rhodes getting a big time push jumping from AEW. But WrestleMania is 2 nights long now, and they kind of need double the surprises, which is why Ringside News writes nothing is off the table, and the creative team are pitching every idea they can think of to see what sticks. One example genuinely being Hulk Hogan versus Linda McMahon. Damn it, I actually kind of want to see that now. There's already Miz's reported partner to face the Mysterios as Logan Paul, marking 2 celebrity matches at WrestleMania alongside Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. And it seems they weren't just content with one winner-takes-all match with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, they wanted all the lady titles in one match too. WrestleTalk alumni and WWE 2K22 star Louis Dangoor has reported over at Give Me Sport that WWE was seriously considering a fatal 4 Horsewomen way match to main event night 1 of WrestleMania 38, with Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Bayley versus Sasha Banks, with both the Raw and SmackDown championships on the line. Apparently the match was first pitched back in December. Like WWE planned 4 months ahead, when Ronda Rousey told officials she wouldn't be returning for WrestleMania 38. That obviously changed the following month, and when Ronda committed to coming back for the Rumble, WWE changed the lineup to Rousey versus Flair and presumably Becky versus Belair, as that's the other women's title match we're now getting. Bayley, meanwhile, is still recovering from a torn ACL, but she's expected to return next month, and Sasha Banks has nothing to do. The road to WrestleMania is a weird time though. Not only are WWE chucking a load of ideas around internally to see what sticks, the months of January to April are famed for the company leaking disinformation to throw the dirt sheets off the scent of their real plans. Like this whole Cody leaving AEW charade. It's a work, I tell you. A really good, plausible, watertight work. that will all be revealed in 3 years' time when Cody goes back to AEW with an increased star power after fighting for the Intercontinental title in SmackDown's mid-card the whole time. What a work! What an amazing, effective, totally obvious work. Cody, of course, didn't return to WWE at the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event. Instead, PW Insider claims he was spotted in Florida within an hour of the show concluding. So they're either saying he's developed some kind of supersonic jet, he's reporting to the Performance Center imminently to learn how to work for TV, or plotting more with Tony Khan as AEW also have their pandemic home in Jacksonville. I've solved it! Kenny Omega spoke candidly about Cody leaving AEW to Wrestling Observer Radio, where he speculated that the AEW in 2022 is very different from the vision he, the Bucks, and Cody had before it launched. Omega and the Bucks were content with that though, but he assumes Cody wasn't. Omega also said it was always Cody who pushed for the warlike mentality against WWE, with his frequent shots and references to Triple H, which Kenny and the Bucks didn't want any part in. Sadly for Cody, if he does end up in WWE, he won't have one of his favourite WCW toys to play with. Goldberg posted a video on Instagram on arriving in Riyadh where he revealed he was the first member of the WWE roster in the gym. The second was Michael Cole on a cross-trainer behind him. Vintage Michael Cole. And he finished saying his Elimination Chamber match could be my last in a WWE ring. So tune in, watch me smash Roman like I've wanted to do for the past 20 years. 20 years? Roman would have been 16. The post's caption furthered the idea he's done with WWE. Possibly my final mission in the wrestling world, kind of a bittersweet trip as it may be my last here as a performer. Thank you everyone, praying emoji, hashtag who's last? Goldberg to AEW confirmed. Now Gorg is seemingly done, losing a disappointing 6-minute match. I know what you're thinking. Where's the young blood in WWE? Where's my Undertaker and Kurt Angle? Kurt Angle has revealed more on his podcast about his WWE return rumours. He confirmed he was never booked for WrestleMania 38, but he was pitched for the Elimination Chamber show as part of the RK Bro and Alpha Academy storyline, where he would have ended up as their tag title match's special guest referee, which, in an alternate timeline, would have made a whole lot more sense if Chad Gable was revealed as Kurt's illegitimate son instead of Jason Jordan for The Swerve, and Angle was brought in as Riddle's manager on his main roster call-up as planned. Angle confirmed he isn't signed with WWE, but, and this is me talking here, that sounds like the exact kind of match WWE would love for WrestleMania 38, so maybe it still might happen. Kurt wasn't the only wrestler that Crown Prince would have actually recognised at Elimination Chamber though. PW Insider writes that Undertaker was also planned for a non-wrestling in-person appearance at the show. Following the announcement, he'd be headlining this year's Hall of Fame class the previous day. The cameo was scrapped for unknown reasons, so Taker just showed up at a Bad Bunny gig over the weekend instead. But what about the stuff that actually did happen on the show? PW Insider is reporting that Brock Lesnar went off script during the men's Elimination Chamber main event. As Bobby Lashley had been removed from the match earlier with an injury angle, he couldn't enter when his pod was selected. Apparently, nothing was then planned to happen, and the rest of the entrants would just continue to wrestle until Lesnar entered last. But Brock had a far better idea in the moment. He decided to kick open his pod door instead of waiting a few more minutes for his time in one of the match's coolest spots. He ain't paid by the hour, he's got a private flight to catch. As for the women's chamber, PW Insider notes the finish was in flux just hours before the show started. The original end had Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair both have their shoulders down in a double pin, but Bianca would kick out at the last second. Instead, they decided to put over Belair strong, winning with her KOD finisher and getting a clean pin, to give her momentum heading into the Becky title match at Mania. There was backstage praise for how far WWE has come with their women's matches in Saudi Arabia, going from one bout with women wearing oversized t-shirts to multiple women's bouts with colourful ring gear that still respected local laws. Because wearing skin-tight PVC dominatrix catsuits while standing in a glass pod, that definitely wasn't sexualized. Bullet dodge there, Saudi regime! In seriousness, it is incredibly impressive and laudable how WWE has actually managed to be at the forefront of change, showing it is possible to end up doing the right thing for the wrong reasons. And somehow Madcap Moss was totally fine, despite headbutting the center of the earth of Drew McIntyre's inverted Alabama Slam. He apologized for taking the move wrong to everyone backstage. Now go and subscribe to our other wrestling channel, partsFUNknown, where you'll find Quizzlemania this week, Adam Blompier's huge fantasy booking of Cody's WWE return on Friday, and our latest top 10 list, all the wrestling companies WWE destroyed.
You guys remember WCPW? That was a weird old time in my life, taking a powerbomb through a table, called by Jim Ross before Rampage Brown ripped off my trousers and threw them so they landed on Jim Cornette. What a weird and completely factual sentence. So, a short while into WCPW's life, while Joseph Connors was our champion, NXT UK was announced that a bunch of wrestlers who regularly featured on our shows were offered contracts.